Hello Internet, today I'll be counting down my top picks for 5 hardest race events in older Need for Speed games, and these are my opinions. So please be known that pursuits like the Final Pursuit in Need for Speed Most Wanted doesn't count, since we literally are talking about races only. So sorry Cross, not today. Everyone! Number 5, Eugene James Earl, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Driving one of the iconic cars of Need for Speed franchise and the cars that we might not be seeing in future games, Earl is actually one of the hardest blacklists to ever be encountered by any player around the globe. Well, let me put this. He drives an Evo, and his events are speed trap and sprints. Both are very complicated at its own, and judging from my own experience, you can never go through him in one shot. Yes, especially the sprint race. Now, the sprint race itself has a very long track indeed, and on the first phase, maybe you leave him behind, doesn't feel anything, but after a few percent, there's a sharp turn. That's where it go wrong. He literally rubber band right into you. Earl is the literal definition of rubber banding in AI, since you can't go through him. Even if you did, you can't really pull away from him. Just every time you think you're safe, you're not. And one of the best thing about Earl's race is there's no traffic. Even if there's maybe one traffic, but most of the time, based on my own experience, I never encountered traffics in his race. And secondly, the race is full of sharp turns and hairpins. Well, Camden Beach is indeed the best, not really the best, but very complicated map indeed. And last but not least, mistakes are costly since it's a sprint race. Unlike circuit, you get more chance, but in sprint race, trust me, you never want to do any mistakes.
Hey yo punk! Check out my new ride! You thought I was bad before? Ha! That was nothing!
Number 4, Kurt's Killer Ride Need for Speed Underground. Well, of course, for old-timer, this is very famous. I can just say, no one, and even if there is, it's billion to 1 odds that one can actually pass this event at one try. You cannot do that. Doesn't matter, the rubber banding is way worse than Earl. It's just it's the script. No matter how much you try to run from him, Kurt's RX-7 just keeps on coming to you. And not only that, the race consists of 6 laps. And can you imagine the frustration of him keeping up with you for the rest of the 6 laps? Even if you actually manage to pull away from him, one crash onto the traffic will slow you down extremely, and for some unknown reason, Kurt can actually pass you without even having to try. He just literally pass you just like that. There's nothing actually makes sense about that, but yeah, indeed it is a game, and that race is very hard. Of course, the traffics in underground, the physics of traffics, very not simple. I just can say that it's not simple. You crash into it, if you actually stuck to it, it will slow you down. You will have to reset your car, or you can reverse and go ahead, because resetting your car also slows your car double time. I guess we all could say. Apart from that, Kurt's Killer Ride was not the race between you and Kurt only. There are also 2 other races which might you have to push yourself to the edge to defeat. Well, who am I to judge? I actually finished the game a few times, and yes, from my personal experience, that race is very hard. I also saw people talking about this on Reddit and other forums, even on Discord. aside from Cross actually.
Everyone!
Well, apart from that, this guy also
You think you know this town? You have no idea what's in store for you other than it's gonna hurt.
Number 2, Darius Need for Speed Carbon. Yeah, when I say Darius, it's not actually just him, it's the Stack Deck crew. Yeah, first of all, you're gonna have to race against 3 previous bosses at once when they're in their new car, tier 3 car. Meh, the first race isn't really that hard, but the second race against them in the city, that's when things could go wrong. For some reason their car just become obnoxiously fast, and their rubber banding just increased just like that. You can't actually just go pull away from them without them chasing you. It's very, very hard, and they're gonna push you to the edge. You're gonna push yourself right to the edge just to win that one particular race. Not only that, after that you're gonna have to face Darius in his Audi R8. When you're gonna face him, you're gonna go through circuit. Now the track is very, very tricky. It's not that long, but it for sure has a lot of hairpins and hidden shortcuts. Now if you discover all the shortcuts, it will be very handy. I did that, and now Even when I used a tier 1 car, it only took me one try just to defeat him in that event. But most of us know it's not really the issue here. The issue is the very last race, the canyon. When you reach the canyon, one thing you can definitely think of. Oh man, this is very hard to say. Eternity Pass, the trickiest track in the game, full of hairpins, wrist turn, and a lot. It has a lot of straightaways too. But when it comes to racing Darius, you can't keep your mind straight. Even though I could say, if you use the Corvette, you can actually just pass through him right at the beginning. The first turn, you can just pass right through him. But you need to be efficient enough to not crash your car. If not, he will just go right past you again and you're gonna have to chase him until a particular sector of a track where you can pass him. Yeah, if you don't really know how to win against him, watch my video. I put a link in the description how to defeat every carbon bosses.
Totally dominated. Oh yeah, Cooper's coming up. I'm saying.
Coming to the top of my list is Ryo Watanabe, Need for Speed Pro Street. Well, he's become the #1 pick because his event consists of 10 races. 10 fucking races. Nothing you can do about it. The first race is the hardest. I'm gonna have to say, my honesty, the first race is the hardest. When I say hard, one name must be popping up into y'all's head: Nevada Highway. Ah man, I'm so impatient. I mean, thinking about Nevada Highway is enough to give you memories about driving fast and eventually crashing your car, which is kind of fun. It's a fun thing to watch, but frustrating at the same time. And not only that, the track itself is 11 miles long because it actually combined Nevada Highway B and Nevada Highway C, if I'm not mistaken. Pardon me, I don't really remember the names, but you know, when it comes to Nevada Highway, there's no way you can actually avoid those not so smooth road. Yes, every turning you would just easily lose the grip, get off the road, and your car will just flat out easily. Nothing you can do about that unless you drive very carefully and safely. I heard some tips, I might as well share them here. You just use the bumper view and try to stick your car to the line on the road. I bet every Need for Speed player knows this. And of course, another thing that hard about Ryo Watanabe is the drift, the first drift event in Tokyo Dockyard. Yes, that drift event really put me through hell, especially when I realized I didn't use the right car. My own car cannot actually defeat that event. I have to use Aki Kimura's car, the RX-7. Yes, that car is perfection, and I won against him for like after 3 tries using Aki Kimura's car. Yeah, I did win that race eventually, but it took me long enough. Not really a pro at that time. And of course the final event isn't that hard, so it's kind of odd how Need for Speed actually do this. And not only that, a lot of races in Need for Speed series, the previous races before the boss are hard. So what do you guys think is the hardest Need for Speed race from older games? So comment down below, give me your answer, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Make sure to click that bell to follow more new contents. That's all from the dude. Ciao.